South Africans were stunned when news broke of a 1.6 billion tender fraud case linked to the city of Cape Town. While headlines made it sound like billions were stolen, the figure actually reflected the total value of the construction project under review. Within this project, from housing development to roadworks, investigators found evidence of fraud, inflated invoices, unnecessary purchases, and funds being siphoned off. The case shows that corruption, long associated with the National Congress known as the ANC, is also prevalent in the DA-led structures at the local government level. For the ANC and other opposition parties, this was a moment to highlight what is seen as hypocrisy. They argued that the DA has built its reputation on portraying itself as a clean governance, yet corruption has still managed to take root under its watch. Statements from leaders from the ANC, the Good Party, and others framed this as proof that Cape Town is not immune to the systematic failures of oversight and accountability that have plagued municipalities across South Africa. The DA has responded by clarifying that figures do not represent stolen money but the total project value. Cape Town Mayor Gordon Hill-Lewis confirmed that junior officials in the supply chain management are under investigation. According to the DA, the case came to light after a whistleblower reported that irregularities which triggered both internal and police investigations. While this shows that processes for exposing fraud exist, it also confirms that corruption is happening inside the DA control system, undermining the party's image of being above such scandals. The bigger picture is that corruption is not confined to one party or one level of government. It is a national issue. The key question is whether those in power, regardless of political affiliation, will allow accountability to follow through or whether corruption will be brushed aside. This case has placed the DA under scrutiny in the same way that the ANC has been for years. For many South Africans, the scandal is less about party rivalry and more about whether political of all stripes can be trusted to govern responsibly and protect the public money. Please see the following clips I managed to put.
ANC and the DA are siblings. 1.6 billion disappeared in Cape Town. Nisakhumbula u-Anele Mdoda when she asked Helen Zille this question.
So what
and even the president knows that.
Yeah. So what you're saying then is the DA is bad, but not as bad as the ANC, and that's why we should vote for you.
No.
Yes, exactly. And April doesn't fall far from the tree. So lapha eCape Town bathole itip of ukuthi imali engange 1.6 billion has been defrauded or ilahlekile with amatenda. So SAPS crime commercial crime unit yase Cape Town, they raided easily about 26, and then they had EJ51 of which is a search and seizure, and then they collected some tender documents and proof and whatnot ukuthi bakhona investigator because of the city of Cape Town. Now they were part of this whistleblowing. So 1.6 billion happened to Inyamalele, and then 1.8 billion also related to housing project. Yet every year, guys, in Cape Town, in a clean audit, Kanjan, Kushuguti, they do not expose the rot in that city. So the rate was about Gutibatola Ama documents, and then nisakhumbula ukuthi Cyril wapraiser EDA wathi banama municipality that are well run. It means ukuthi EDA ayinama municipality that are well run. It means ukuthi they are very, very good in covering up their like shenanigans.
Cape Town is a great example of a well-run.
So that is
what about
local
Tshwane and what about Nelson Mandela Bay? Are they as well run as Cape Town?
Of course not, because it hasn't had the DA government for 20 years. That's the point.
It just sounds like you're saying the DA is corrupt, but we're not as corrupt as the ANC. So how do you work around that when there is some sort of trail that there has been corruption in the DA?
That is hilarious, Anele. You say you're not insulting me. That is an extremely insulting thing to say.
Guys, was that an insult?
It is a deep insult to say that the DA is corrupt and that I'm corrupt.
No, I'm saying that there are allegations of corruption within the DA.
Examples?
So would you
Examples?
Nancy, this book files the 10 is on.
Which book? Give me examples, please.
Helen, is there anything else you'd like to say before we make sure that every single time that you are here campaigning, we want to hear from you?
If you ask me a question and make an allegation, you have to substantiate it. Simple.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. There were allegations. So what I'm saying to you is...
Allegations is not proof.
If there is found to be corruption within the DA, right?
Yeah.
That means that you can't do what you're saying that you are going to do.
Okay, let me give you an answer to that question, Anele. The bottom line answer to that question is you don't survive in the DA if you are corrupt. You are chopped off immediately at the neck. In the ANC, you can't survive if you're not corrupt because everybody's corrupt. So the minute someone like Babita Deokaran is not corrupt, they have to take her out. So in the ANC, you can't survive if you're not corrupt. In the DA, you can't survive if you are corrupt.
Can you survive in the DA if you're racist?
Certainly not.
We have seen the headlines and seen the statement by SAPS. However, the city of Cape Town also, coming forward to say that they also played a role in blowing the whistle, blowing the lid on alleged corruption and fraud.
Nasipi, look, the fact that the city of Cape Town participated in the exposure of this alleged corruption is their duty. I mean, they are a government, they're a public institution that's public funds, and if they became aware of fraud or corruption within their ranks, then it was their duty as the city manager and the mayor of Cape Town to report it. So we can't congratulate a fish for swimming. So good they came forward. But I think the bigger story is that in the large infrastructure projects, mobility, and that is the rollout of the My City bus, and in the housing departments, we have seen two scandals now involving the city of Cape Town. The 1.6 billion allegedly around the urban mobility projects, and the 1.8 billion rand where there are current prosecutions underway relating to housing projects. And so in the areas where there's large amounts of funding and big budgets, both are contaminated by corruption allegations. Yet the city receives a clean audit. And this is why this idea that a clean audit means that a city is running above board always is a fallacious one. And we have to stop making a big deal around clean audits because they do not expose the rot that is in any municipality or any government department.
So imadlanga commission of inquiry bayibambe ngepause and then izokuresume on the 13th of October, and then General Khumalo today bekumela present evidence yakhe apparently uyagula. So at least sinesikhathinyana sokuthi sikhokhe umoya, guys. Lenga understand ukuthi like spin a breather, and then is maybe time for ad hoc committee to shine next week. So Julius Malema is also found guilty on the matter layer yesibhamu nasikhumbula ngisho. So the matter is postponed to the 23rd of January 2026 for sentencing procedure. I'm sure abaningi they were expecting ukuthi bazokuthi Julius Malema is found guilty and then you are sentenced to 15 years imprisonment. Like mina, I still maintain my say with Julius Malema is not guilty. If Julius Malema he was guilty, why angasise jail? Why must we wait for the 23rd of January if ever he was killed? Because of on the 23rd, they will say the matter has been escalated to Supreme Court or to Concord or something. That guy, you will never see Julius Malema in like orange overall, if that we are expecting. So guys, I just wanted to share that. What is your view in terms of Cape Town? Cape Town kahle kahle nayo ayahluki vele ne-ANC 1.6 billion kutender fraud. Meanwhile nangapha ethembisa hospital kulahleke 2 billion. Kusho ukuthi imali khona ku government is just that ukuthi idliwa bo clever, ne?
The plot thickens. You see, the same problem has been detected in the Western Cape. A 1.6 billion rand scandal. 26 properties were apparently invaded by police or some security personnel to check up on all of this. See, no one is fallible. This is not about just ANC or any political party. It's about the fact that greed is so easy. It's so easy. Why take the honest path? It's so difficult and it's so hard. It's a righteous path, but it's a hard path. It's an honest, authentic path. The temptation to take a shortcut is so easy. And this is why it doesn't matter what political party is in power. Whoever gets there will have the tendency to do the same thing. The difference is that you and I can hold them accountable. They know that they can't do this again, and they will pay dearly if they mess around with public money that is meant for public use. When they know this, the game changes. Then they will work for us and not the other way around.
In the Western Cape, police are raiding 26 properties in Cape Town. They say it's part of a fraud investigation into municipal contracts worth 1.6 billion rand. Newsroom Africa's Nasipi Summit, tracking the story, joins us now with an update. Nasipi, good afternoon to you. What are police actually looking for?
Well, at this present moment, information is still quite thin regarding the investigation and operation by police. And this morning, police informing us that a major anti-corruption operation was underway in Cape Town with 26 locations targeted in a high-profile police investigation into municipal fraud. And as you put it, according to police's Colonel Andre Trout, the move follows a whistleblower tip-off and early investigations into fraud and corruption linked to municipal contracts with an estimated 1.6 billion rand. And we understand that the sites that are being searched include municipal offices, private businesses, the homes of officials and the premises of service providers linked to government tenders. Unfortunately for us, we are joined by the opposition in the city of Cape Town, Ditini Kido there. News just coming in that police are swooping on once again in the offices of the city of Cape Town. I think the first question from my end is your immediate reaction to this.
Thank you very much, Nasib. Our immediate reaction as the ANC is that we welcome the action by the South African Police Services to investigate the city of Cape Town. Actually, the action confirms our long-held view that the city of Cape Town was corrupt. It was a matter of time that somebody was going to pick that up and deal with it. So as the ANC, we really welcome the action. And our immediate thoughts were going to be that there be no interference. There was a time when, early in this year when there was a similar process or a similar operation in the offices of Alderman J.P. Smith and Alderman Zantia Limbe, where you find the mayor of Cape Town even instituting some meetings with the police commissioner in the Western Cape. And we are saying this time, stay away. Just stay away and allow the police to do their work. The fallacy of a best-run city, Nasipi, is falling down. It's going to fall down. It can be in the region of 1.6 billion rand and there's nothing there.
Out of curiosity, do we know perhaps the officers that are being targeted with this raid?
At the moment, no, we do not know ourselves what could those departments be. But if you look at how Cape Town is run, surely that was going to be on the areas waste, areas human settlements, areas water and sanitation. I'm saying this because that is where the lack of services is mainly found, or where discrepancies with contracting and all of that is happening. So we really are calling to Cape Townians to monitor this particular process very closely, and really we're urging all political figures to stay away from the investigation and allow the police to do their work.
I mean, the police themselves have, in a way, sent out a warning shot to political stakeholders as they have called for them not to interfere in this particular matter.
I think that was wise of the police to do so, because they would have experienced pressure from political heads of the city of Cape Town when a similar raid was undertaken in the municipality. You see, Nasib, a lot still is going to come in Cape Town. There are a lot of corruption that is happening in the city of Cape Town. One other issue that Cape Townians must do, and all political people must do, is probably to demand that the Municipal Public Accounts Committee be open to the public, so that you yourselves as the media and the people of Cape Town are able to see what is going on in this municipality. This is a rotten, corrupt municipality.
The city of Cape Town has released a statement following the SAPS informing the media of this raid. And the city says, in line with the city's zero-tolerance approach to fraud and corruption, city's forensic services took swift action to assess and report the matter to SAPS, who then undertook the search and seizure operation.
No, that's a joke that they are making. If that was that much, then nobody would have reached a point of 1.6 billion rand. Look, this multiplicity of contracts and tenders that affect service delivery in Cape Town. If there was any zero tolerance to it, then it would not have reached the point that it reached. It's just a normal standardized statement that people would release when they are caught with their hand in the cookie jar.
I mean, as you mentioned, this is not the first raid that we're seeing in the city of Cape Town buildings. The second one, to be specific. Would you say that there's something going on in this building that perhaps residents of Cape Town are not aware of?
Actually, is the third from Councillor Boy's point, and then JP and Zantia, and now this. Something very wrong is going wrong in Cape Town. Something very terribly wrong, and the problem with it is an amount that the city of Cape Town and the DA is investing on media and PR campaigns to mask their corruption. But the people are finally going to find out that the municipality is not as glory and clean as it is projected. Actually, it's only the PR that is clean.
Going forward now, are there going to be any sort of engagements from the opposition benches with the mayor or the municipal manager?
At this moment, Nasipi, all of us, speaking for the ANC, we would want as an ANC to really step outside of the actual investigation itself. But what we cannot not say is that all along we knew that the people of Cape Town were not, the people in the Cape Labs were not serviced, the people in the informal settlements were not serviced because somebody was misappropriating the monies intended for their livelihoods.
We'll have to leave it there. That is Detini Kidro from the ANC in the city of Cape Town. And he highlighted also a search and seizure operation that was conducted by the police earlier this year inside the Civic Centre building. And this operation also comes amid growing concerns over corruption at a municipal level and also...
They love bragging about these so-called clean audits. Year after year, the city of Cape Town waves it around like a trophy. But let's be real. What does a clean audit actually mean? It means paperwork looks neat. That's it. Because while they are busy clapping for themselves, SAPS is investigating 1.6 billion rand worth of fraud right here in the city. 1.6 billion. Let that sink in. How do you shout about clean audits when the cops are busy chasing down corruption on that scale? Doesn't make sense, right? So let's stop pretending, right? Audits don't catch theft. Audits don't tell you who's cutting deals behind closed doors, who's inflating tenders, or who's pocketing the money meant for the people. A clean audit just means the numbers balance on the paper, not that the system is clean. And that's the scam. They sell you the story of good governance, while billions that should be fixing houses, fixing roads, and creating jobs are being looted under our noses. Now, it might mean that in other provinces, this happens more often than it does in the Western Cape. But is it because in those provinces, in those metros, it's known? And just because we don't know what's happening, that it seems like everything is going good in the Western Cape, in Cape Town. So don't show us your audits. Show us accountability. Show us justice. Because the people of Cape Town can't eat clean audits, but they are choking on corruption. You're making this a thing in South Africa where you are saying that good governance is something that's part of your DNA as the DA. Show us.